Welcome to your personal deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at generative AI, and you've sent in some really interesting excerpts from Generative AI Transformation, a guide for everyone. And this guide seems like it'd be perfect for anyone who's really trying to get ahead of the curve on this one.
Absolutely. This guide is really a fantastic resource for understanding the core concepts, the potential, and even the future of Gen AI.
All right, so let's jump right in. The guide starts by explaining how generative AI, or Gen AI as I think we'll call it, is different from the AI that we're already pretty familiar with.
Right. So when we're thinking about the AI that we interact with on like a daily basis,
Mhm.
things like facial recognition on our phones or recommendation algorithms on, streaming platforms or whatever, those are all examples of what's called narrow AI,
Okay.
which are, trained for very specific tasks,
Hmm.
but aren't really adaptable beyond their programming.
Okay, so that's narrow AI, but Gen AI is like different how?
Yeah, so Gen AI aims to be much broader in scope. It's more adaptable, and it's capable of tackling a much wider range of tasks. It's really about, developing systems that can learn and reason,
Mm-hmm.
more like we do,
Mm-hmm.
and moving beyond just crunching data to actually understanding and generating new content.
So it's less about like tasks and more about thinking flexibly.
Yeah,
That's a pretty significant shift. What kind of impact could this have on our lives?
yeah. Well, the potential applications are, pretty mind-blowing.
Okay.
Um, the guide dives into some fascinating examples.
Okay.
One that really stood out to me was personalized medicine.
Okay.
Imagine a future where treatments are tailored to your unique genetic makeup,
Oh, wow.
maximizing effectiveness and minimizing side effects.
That would revolutionize healthcare.
Yeah.
And this guide's about more than just theory. It actually gets into like the nuts and bolts of how Gen AI works.
Yeah, one of the key concepts it explores is this idea of, AI mimicking biological intelligence,
Okay.
particularly how our brains process information.
So are we talking about like AI actually like replicating the human brain?
Not quite replicating it, definitely drawing inspiration from it.
Okay.
For example, our brains process visual information through this complex network of neurons.
Mm.
AI researchers are using something called convolutional neural networks, or CNNs, to achieve a similar result in tasks like image recognition.
Oh, wow. So it's like borrowing from how our brains work.
Exactly.
That's pretty amazing. But what about other aspects of intelligence like memory or decision making?
Right. Well, those are also really essential.
Yeah.
Think about self-driving cars.
Okay.
They need to be able to, perceive the environment through sensors,
Right.
make decisions based on real-time data,
Hmm.
and remember previous experiences to improve their performance.
Right.
The guide explains how, Gen AI research is really focused on developing models that can mimic these cognitive processes.
So Gen AI isn't just about like crunching numbers. It's about trying to like replicate the core functions of intelligence. That's really interesting. This is all very fascinating, but the guide goes even deeper, right? It actually gets into the specific technologies that are powering all of this.
Right. It breaks down kind of three key pillars:
Okay.
advanced algorithms, powerful hardware, and massive data sets.
Okay, let's unpack those, starting with algorithms.
What are we talking about here?
So essentially, algorithms are the sets of rules
Right.
that dictate how AI systems learn and operate.
Okay.
The guide mentions techniques like reinforcement learning,
Okay.
where the AI learns through trial and error, kind of like training a dog.
Rewarding good behavior and correcting mistakes.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Another fascinating technique is generative adversarial networks, or GANs.
Okay.
Imagine two AI systems competing.
Okay.
One generates content,
Mm-hmm.
while the other acts as a judge, trying to distinguish between real and AI-generated output.
Okay.
And this constant competition pushes both systems to improve, leading to some incredibly realistic results.
So it's like an AI arms race, but for creativity.
Yeah. What about the hardware side of things? Why is that so important?
Well, as these Gen AI models become more and more complex,
Mm-hmm.
they require, significant computing power.
Yeah.
The guide discusses innovations in hardware, including specialized processors like GPUs and TPUs,
Okay.
which are designed specifically to handle the demands of these advanced AI systems.
So it's not just about smarter software, it's about building more powerful machines to run it.
Right.
And then, of course, there's the data, right?
Data is like the fuel that powers AI.
Okay.
The more high-quality data an AI system has access to,
Mm-hmm.
the better it can learn, adapt, and perform.
Right.
The guide stresses that, having diverse and representative data sets
Okay.
is crucial for developing robust and unbiased AI systems.
It's not just about quantity, it's about the quality and variety of data.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of building robust AI, the guide also mentions the process of fine-tuning.
Yes.
What exactly is that?
So imagine you have like a general purpose Gen AI model. Fine-tuning is like taking that model and specializing it for a particular task.
Okay.
So for example, you might want to use it for, medical diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Fine-tuning would involve training it on a data set
Mm-hmm.
of, medical images, research papers, and clinical notes.
So you're giving it a crash course in medicine.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Fine-tuning really helps tailor the model's knowledge and skills for a specific domain,
Okay.
leading to more accurate and relevant outputs.
That makes sense. But fine-tuning isn't just about tweaking the data, right? There's also something called prompt engineering.
Yeah. Prompt engineering is all about, crafting the right input prompts
Okay.
to guide the AI's responses.
Okay.
It's like giving clear instructions to get the desired output.
Okay.
This can be as simple as asking a question in a specific way,
Right.
or as complex as, providing layered information to guide the AI through like a logical series of responses.
So it's not just about teaching the AI, it's also about knowing how to communicate with it effectively
Right.
to get the best results. This level of interaction is fascinating. But AI development doesn't stop there, does it? There's also this idea of continual learning mentioned in the guide.
Right. Continual learning is all about enabling AI systems to adapt to new information and trends
Mm-hmm.
without requiring a complete retraining.
Okay.
It's like, giving the AI a constant stream of updates,
Right.
helping it to stay relevant and accurate over time.
So it's like giving the AI a subscription to like the latest news and research so
Exactly.
it can stay up to date.
Yeah.
Makes sense, especially in fields like technology or finance where things are constantly changing.
Right.
Now, building a great AI model is one thing, but actually deploying it effectively is another challenge altogether, right? What does the guide have to say about that?
It goes into detail about the importance of choosing the right hardware,
Okay.
balancing the workload, and
Yeah.
managing costs.
Right.
For example, large-scale deployments might require powerful GPU or TPU clusters,
Hmm.
while smaller-scale applications might be better suited for more lightweight architectures.
So it's like choosing the right tool for the job.
Exactly.
A heavy-duty truck for a big project or a nimble scooter for a quick errand.
Right.
Makes sense. And it's not just about the initial deployment, right? The guide also talks about the importance of ongoing monitoring and feedback.
Absolutely. Continuously monitoring things like latency,
Right.
error rates, and resource utilization can really help identify potential issues early on.
Okay.
User feedback is also really crucial for ensuring that, the AI is meeting real-world needs.
So it's all about making sure that AI remains effective and relevant once it's out in the wild.
Right.
This is all really fascinating stuff. It feels like we're only scratching the surface of what's possible with Gen AI.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
And in the next part of our deep dive, we'll explore how these, incredible capabilities are actually being put to work in real-world applications.
Perfect. Looking forward to it.
Welcome back to our deep dive into generative AI transformation, a guide for everyone. You're right, those case studies really bring the concepts to life.
Totally. Last time we laid the groundwork talking about what Gen AI is and how it works, but now I'm ready to see it in action, and this guide does not disappoint.
Yeah.
It has a whole section dedicated to these case studies across different industries.
Right.
Where should we start?
Well, let's jump into the world of e-commerce.
Okay.
The guide has this really fascinating case study called Generative AI in E-commerce, Personalized Shopping Experiences.
Okay.
It really dives into how Gen AI is changing the online shopping game.
Perfect. I spend way too much time browsing online stores.
Right.
So I'm definitely curious to hear how AI is shaping that experience.
So imagine this, you're shopping for clothes online, but instead of, being bombarded with all these generic recommendations,
Right.
the AI actually knows your style and
Yeah.
knows the colors you gravitate towards, maybe even, your preferred fabrics.
Okay.
And it's suggesting items that perfectly match your taste.
Okay, that would be amazing. No more sifting through pages and pages of stuff I'd never wear. How
Yeah.
does that actually work?
So the guide explains that Gen AI can actually analyze your past purchases, your
Yeah.
browsing history, even your social media activity
Wow.
to create this really detailed profile of your preferences.
Okay.
It's not just about what you've bought before.
Right.
It's about what you might actually love in the future.
So it's like having a personal stylist who knows me better than I know myself.
Right.
But this level of personalization must require a ton of data.
Mm.
What about privacy concerns?
Yeah, that's a really valid point.
Yeah.
The guide really emphasizes that companies need to be transparent about their data collection practices
Mm-hmm.
and give users control over their information.
Right.
Responsible data management is crucial for building trust.
Makes sense done right. This personalized approach could benefit both shoppers and retailers.
Right.
Shoppers get a more enjoyable experience, and retailers, increase sales and customer loyalty. It's a win-win. Let's move on to another area that's kind of ripe for disruption.
Okay.
Customer service. The guide has a case study on that too, right?
Yes, it's called Generative AI in Customer Service. Automating support with chatbots.
Okay.
We've all, interacted with those like basic chatbots that can only handle simple questions.
Right.
But Gen AI is taking this to a whole new level.
I'm actually really curious about this. Sometimes the simple chatbots can be more frustrating than helpful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The guide explains how Gen AI is being used to create chatbots that can understand natural language, learn from past interactions, and, provide increasingly sophisticated support.
So no more canned responses and endless loops of please rephrase your question.
Right.
That's a relief. But can these AI-powered chatbots really handle complex issues?
They're getting better all the time.
Yeah.
The guide gives an example of a chatbot in the telecommunications industry
Okay.
that can actually help customers troubleshoot network issues, walking them through steps to, diagnose and resolve problems.
Yeah. Wow, that's actually pretty impressive. So it's not just answering FAQs anymore, it's actually providing real-time solutions. That's cool. What about other industries?
Right. Well, the guide highlights how AI chatbots are also making waves in like the banking sector,
Okay.
providing personalized financial advice and helping customers with tasks like loan applications.
So instead of waiting on hold for hours, you could get instant support and guidance from an AI.
Right.
That sounds incredibly efficient, but what about the human touch?
Right.
Are we going to see customer service reps completely replaced by bots?
That's a good question. The guide, addresses that concern.
Yeah.
It emphasizes that the goal isn't to replace humans entirely,
Okay.
but to augment their capabilities.
Okay.
AI can handle the routine tasks, freeing up human agents to focus on, more complex or sensitive issues
Right.
that require empathy and nuanced decision-making.
It's about finding that sweet spot where AI and human intelligence work together seamlessly.
Right.
Now, there's one more area I'm really excited to explore. Marketing.
Yeah.
With all the content like flying around online, I can only imagine how Gen AI is impacting this field.
Yeah, you're in for a treat. The case study, titled Generative AI in Marketing, Automated Content Creation for Campaigns, is all about how AI is transforming the marketing landscape.
Okay, tell me everything.
Okay, so imagine this. You need to create a series of social media posts. You need to write a blog article.
Yeah.
You need to draft an email campaign,
Mm-hmm.
all promoting, your new product.
Yeah.
Instead of spending hours brainstorming and writing, Gen AI can handle much of that heavy lifting for you.
Wait, seriously, so no more staring at a blank screen for hours?
Right.
This sounds like a marketer's dream.
So the guide explains how AI models like GPT-3 can generate, various types of written content based on input prompts.
Okay.
You can give it a topic, some keywords, even specify the desired tone of voice,
Right.
and it can create compelling copy in seconds.
That's incredible. And it's not just about generating text, right? What about visuals?
Right. Well, AI is also being used to create visuals for marketing campaigns.
Yeah.
The guide mentions tools that can generate images, infographics, even videos, all tailored to, specific brand guidelines.
This is amazing. So AI is handling the grunt work,
Right.
freeing up marketers to focus on strategy and creativity.
Exactly.
But what about the quality? Can AI-generated content really match the creativity and nuance of human-crafted content?
That's a great question. The guide acknowledges that AI-generated content can sometimes lack that human touch,
Right.
but it also highlights that, these tools are evolving so rapidly, they're becoming more and more sophisticated
Okay.
and, mimicking different writing styles and generating truly creative content.
So it's really about using AI as a tool to enhance human creativity, not replace it entirely.
Yeah.
A powerful partnership. These case studies are really eye-opening. They show how Gen AI is already making waves across these diverse industries.
And we've only just scratched the surface. The guide goes even further. It explores, the long-term implications of Gen AI, including those mind-boggling possibilities we talked about earlier, like neuromorphic computing and even superintelligent AI.
This is all so fascinating. I'm ready to dive deeper into those bigger picture questions.
Okay, then let's continue our journey. In the final part of our deep dive, we'll explore the guide's insights on how Gen AI will intersect with society at large and what we can do to navigate this transformative era, responsibly and effectively.
Sounds like a plan. Welcome back to the deep dive. We're wrapping up our exploration of generative AI transformation, a guide for everyone. And, this has been an incredible journey so far. We've gone from the nuts and bolts of, what Gen AI is to seeing its real world applications in action. But now I'm ready to kind of tackle the big question. What does all of this mean for society at large?
Yeah, that's exactly where the guide takes us in these final chapters. It really emphasizes that this isn't just a technological revolution, it's a societal one. And understanding those broader implications is really key to navigating this new era.
Totally. We've talked about some really exciting, potential benefits like personalized medicine and, AI helping to tackle climate change. But the guide also acknowledges that there are challenges, that we need to be prepared for.
Absolutely. And I think
Yeah.
one of the biggest ones is the impact on the workforce.
Right.
As automation, driven by AI becomes more sophisticated, it has the potential to really reshape entire industries,
Right.
which could lead to significant job displacement, in certain sectors.
That's definitely a concern that's been on a lot of people's minds. How does the guide address that?
Well, it stresses the importance of being proactive, not reactive.
Okay.
It's not about trying to halt progress,
Right.
but it's about preparing people for the changes that are coming. And that means, investing in robust education and training programs, helping workers develop new skills that will be in high demand in an AI-driven world.
So it's about empowering people to adapt and thrive in this new reality.
Exactly.
That makes sense. But even with retraining, there's this concern that, the benefits of AI might not be distributed equally. The guide mentions this risk of economic inequality, right?
It does. The concern is that if the benefits of AI primarily accrue to, select few, the gap between the haves and have-nots could widen even further.
Yeah, that's a crucial point. What steps can be taken to kind of mitigate that?
Well, the guide suggests exploring, a variety of options. One is implementing policies that promote equitable access to, AI education and training,
Hmm.
making sure everyone has the opportunity to participate in this new economy. Another idea is, exploring concepts like universal basic income, which could provide a safety net for those whose jobs are, displaced by automation.
So it's about creating a system that supports everyone regardless of how AI impacts their work. Now, shifting gears a bit, the guide isn't just about the potential downsides.
Right.
It also explores how Gen AI could be a force for good, addressing some of the biggest challenges facing humanity.
Absolutely. One of the most exciting areas is the potential for AI to help us combat climate change.
Okay.
AI can analyze these massive data sets of environmental information to model climate patterns,
Yeah.
identify trends, and even develop strategies for optimizing energy consumption and reducing emissions.
So AI could help us find solutions that are simply beyond human capabilities?
It's not about replacing human ingenuity,
Okay.
but it's about augmenting it.
Yeah.
You know, AI can process and analyze information at a scale and speed that humans simply can't match, allowing us to develop, more effective and targeted solutions.
That makes sense. And this goes beyond just climate change, right? What are some other areas where AI can have a really positive impact?
The guide highlights the potential for AI to revolutionize healthcare.
Okay.
Imagine a future where, you know, AI-powered diagnostic tools can detect diseases at their earliest stages,
Wow.
potentially saving countless lives. And, for people in underserved regions, AI could provide remote access to specialist and personalized treatment plans, bridging gaps in healthcare access.
That would be truly transformative. So AI isn't just about, cool gadgets and automation. It's about using technology to improve lives and create a better future.
Exactly. And the guide reminds us that while AI has this incredible potential, that's crucial to approach this new era with a sense of responsibility, we need to ensure that AI is developed and deployed ethically with human values at the forefront.
Totally. We've talked a lot about the potential benefits and challenges of Gen AI, but what can we as individuals actually do to navigate this new landscape?
Well, the guide stresses the importance of education.
Yep.
The more we understand about AI, the better equipped we'll be to make informed decisions about its development and use.
Right.
Engaging in open and honest conversations about, the ethical implications of AI is also really crucial.
So it's about being informed and engaged citizens.
Exactly.
What about on a more professional level?
Embracing lifelong learning is more important than ever. The skills that are in demand today might be obsolete tomorrow. So continuously updating our knowledge and skills will be key to staying relevant in an AI-driven world.
This deep dive has been such an eye-opening experience. I feel like I've gained a whole new perspective on the transformative power of Gen AI and its potential impact on our world.
I agree. And the guide really drives home the point that the future is not predetermined. We have the power to shape how AI evolves and the role it plays in our lives.
Well said. This has been an incredible journey through generative AI transformation, a guide for everyone. And to you, listener, thank you for joining us on the deep dive. We hope this exploration has given you a better understanding of this exciting and rapidly evolving field. Keep those sources coming. We'll be here to help you make sense of it all.